Hello there and welcome to my channel, Novice Modelling in a Midlife Crisis. My name is Andy and as you can see we've got our IBG 72564 IAR80 titled Early Gathering Storm 1941 kit in front of us, and this is basically a build update to let you know where I'm actually at with this particular kit. We've had a bit of procrastination over the past 4 days, which is kind of typical for me, and we've also been playing around with the finish kits that we started last week as well. But this is where we've got to so far. So we've actually got the bulk of the kit together. I'm going to go through some of the aspects and details that I actually found interesting or kind of annoying with you. You may have seen that I put the cockpit build up as a separate video to this previously, as this has a really nicely detailed cockpit. And I was planning on doing a video for the build for the engine, because that's quite complicated also. So there we go, there's the actual instructions for, or the painting diagrams for the cockpit interior and the engine. But unfortunately our engine turned into a bit of a nightmare, and after building the engine, which we pre-painted, we kind of then got into the situation where we kind of like didn't really follow the instructions correctly, because we were very concerned about the engine fitting into the housing and the housing mounting the rest of the fuselage correctly. And we kind of ended up building the rest of the kit before we kind of planned to. So it was a bit of a nightmare, but it's kind of come out okay, I think. There might be a bit of off-centeredness of the engine. That's partially down to me, but it was a little bit vague on where the engine was supposed to sit in the engine housing, and that's kind of how come I ended up throwing it together sort of not how I intended to. So anyway, I'm just going to run through the instructions and show you some of the actual bits that I've kind of found interesting. I mean, obviously the cockpit interior, the video for that is already up. We actually bypassed some of the the actual photo etch that went in this, because we're just not skilled enough to deal with that. And as has been pointed out by a few other viewers, photo etching 172 is kind of mad. But some people will obviously disagree with that and say it's a wondrous addition. So basically what we actually decided to do is we've built the engine as our next part to build, which is skipping ahead. So the engine actually went, I mean, these parts of the engine here I pre-painted, and they all went together pretty well until we went to add on this exhaust manifold, which I really struggled with. And to be quite candid with you, I ended up cutting it off and just sticking the engine exhaust basically on it instead, because it was just interfering with the actual engine housing that goes on here, and I wasn't able to get a tight join no matter how I played around and fiddled with it. That I'm going to put down to my own lack of experience and bodgery basically, and not actually say anything about the kit, because the kit generally has gone together kind of nice, even though it is, you know, really complex. So that's basically the big issue I had, was the engine. Now, as you can see, even though I bodged the engine, I have got some gapping issues around the housing, which I'm going to be attacking with shortly with my Vallejo Magic Plastic Putty. So we've got some gaps around the edges here. We've also got some nasty excess glue on there as well. But we did manage to get the housing flush to the rest of the fuselage. Now, putting the fuselage together was interesting, because you actually get this piece here, which is a separate piece. You also get this piece here, which is a separate piece as well. So it's kind of different to how kits normally go together. The tailplane is 2 separate pieces also. The rudder is 1 piece, and these 2 tailplane parts are 1 piece that fits in. I'll show you those on the instructions now. Let's just find them. Yeah, so basically, as you can see, the tailplane comes in 2 sections, and that all fitted together really nice. It was kind of a really interesting way to do it. I also found these wing spars to be kind of interesting as well, because don't think I've actually done a kit yet so far that had this sort of detail on them. As you can see, the somebody told me the name of these things. The places where the undercarriage goes, the undercarriage bays, that's a separate piece that you slot in as well. So it's very different to how things normally go together. You also get these gaps in the leading wing edges where there are 2 pieces to put in here. Now, I'm not quite sure whether IBG are going for sort of actual accuracy in how planes are put together, but I know that the wing spar is an actual piece, and whether it's supposed to be bigger or not, I'm not quite sure. But I did wonder whether these 2 pieces here, these 2 leading edged pieces, are actual sort of genuine pieces that can be removed on these sort of aircraft so you can get at the wing spars. You know, I'm not exactly certain as to how a proper real aircraft goes together, but it all seemed to be sort of engineered in a fairly trying to be accurate kind of way to me, and it was kind of fascinating to build. I would highly recommend it, but I mean, to someone, a novice like myself, it was kind of difficult. But there we go. Yeah. So, as you can see, the wings here, the mounting points where the wings hit the fuselage, that all fitted together really nicely. This piece here, this top section of the fuselage which goes on, I actually found out by accident as well that when you put the cockpit cover on, it actually slides beautifully down this sort of groove here. So I'm guessing, you know, you can have it sort of open or closed, which is kind of nice. And there are multiple options on the cockpit. There's 4 different cockpits you can put on, cockpit covers that you can put on. So that was really, really cool as well. Seam lines where it's gone together, I mean, you don't get any seam line here because this piece goes on. I've got a little tiny gap there, I don't know if you can see it, and some excess glue residue, which I'm probably going to try and get off. Underneath, I mean, these are the best representations of, you know, actual ailerons that I've seen so far in a kit. I mean, they're just gorgeous, they are. And again, all the panel lines and little hatches and stuff, as you've probably seen on the what's in the box, are all, you know, really, really nice. So, I mean, the only real problem I've got on underneath here is I've got a bit of a ridge where this goes. So I'm not too sure whether to sort of try and file that out with my new fake Dremel, or whether to just leave it and not risk sort of damaging it. But I will put some filler in there anyway. You know, but otherwise, I mean, it went together nice. It looks nice. So, Novice, which is cheers in Romanian. Well, we haven't got that in camera. Carpathian whiskey. Nom nom. So, yeah, I'm kind of happy with it so far. Obviously, the bits we've got to go on. We've got to put our propeller on, which we've pre-painted. We've got our landing gear and wheels, which are semi-pre-painted. It actually comes with a tail skid as opposed to a tail wheel, which I kind of found kind of interesting. Our spinner, I'm not quite sure which one is actually going on, but that needs to be painted yellow. And yeah, so we've got a few things to do. Tomorrow we're going to put our primer on, I reckon, and then that'll probably be as far as I get until my next day's off. So what else have we done? Oh yeah, we also did a kit comparison review for this Sova M IAR 81C, which is an old A model kit. So you can actually get an 80 in this as well. You might want to check this out, because this is actually, it's obviously the same aircraft. This is a sort of dive bomber, fighter bomber variant. But like I say, you can get an 80 from Sova M. But if you wanted to do one of these aircrafts and you're a little bit sort of skeptical on the sort of detailed engine and a detailed cockpit interior, this is pretty much close to just a basic standard kit. So you might want to have a go at one of those maybe. As previously discussed, we're going to be painting this up as this one out of our Romanian Aces of World War II, which is Lieutenant Aviator Ion Michu. And when we finish the kit, we'll be delving into this book and having a little read about who this guy was and what he did during the war. I think that's about all I've got to say, really. So I'm going to wave the Romanian flag, and I'm going to get my Swedish flag out, because what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the evening is I'm going to be doing some what's in the box videos for our You Choose My Next build for next week, which is this Marivox J22, a special hobby J9 EP1106. Ooh, look at this one here. All the place is falling apart. A special hobby Saab J21. Or this special hobby Saab B5 Swedish dive bomber. They're all kind of interesting kits that we're going to be looking at next week. And we're going to be doing a build update on our Swedish aircraft, our Finnish aircraft that we started last week, which are kind of painted now. So they're coming along okay. I think I was being a little bit overly keen when I thought I was going to get these all finished in 4 days, but as is the way, we will actually persevere and we will get to them ASAP. So yeah, that's about it. So please do have a look at some of our other vids. We've got 150 watts in the boxes on the channel. We've got a load of build vids. We've got a load of haul unboxings. We've got Mikey's Hobby Barn with his 5,000 kits. And we've got our lovely whiskey here as well to keep us warm. So please do like and subscribe. Please do drop us a comment in the comments bar. I do really enjoy engaging with you guys when I get the time to check it. And that's all we've got to say for. So please do like and subscribe, and be seeing you. Oh, I forgot to turn the camera off. Oh, there we go. Bye.